blustery day out here today, but
that's what it's looking like. But you know what? We're happy that the sun's out.
Yes.
Might get to 50, and we might get some pokes over the big monster left too. So we'll see. But coming into today's game, you got Eagan at 1-3. Excuse me, 2-3 overall, 1-3 in the conference, and then Lakeville on their side is also, I believe, 2-3 overall. 3-2 overall and 3-1 at home. In the conference are 3-2 as well. So they haven't played any non-conference games, but Eagan is coming off of a big win last Saturday on Eagan Alumni and Youth Baseball Day. Kind of fill me in on that game.
It was a great Saturday. A lot of kids were up here, a few alumni. Are we standing up for the national anthem?
The national anthem.
Yeah.
Excuse some technical difficulties. Be right with you. We apologize for technical difficulties that are insurmountable at the moment. Play ball!
Alrighty, I guess they didn't want Adam and I to sing today, so that was a wise decision amongst Pete Amon up in the booth. I could have brought my harmonica and maybe hymned a little bit of it for you, but that's about all I could have done today.
Pete did his best up there. But.
Yeah.
So, Casey, back to Saturday.
Yeah.
But what a great day just for Eagan baseball. A ton of youth were out here. There had to be 200-300 kids out here running around. Some alumni came back, and they actually saw a heck of a game. Charlie Harms hit a bases-clearing triple in the bottom of the seventh for the W for the Cats, and it was actually a pretty well-played game for a warm but very blustery, windy day again.
Right.
And the way the spring is going, that's what it's been like every day, dealing with the wind.
No, absolutely. So, Eagan's looking to obviously ride that momentum off of that win from Saturday. And that, that is a common opponent. They tend to play Grand Rapids, right, every year on that Saturday non-conference game. So then, and then looking ahead, like I said before, talking with Coach Butler a little bit before the game, just, some correctable things, right, that led to some of those early losses. And they had high expectations. They still do coming into this year. So today we're going to be really excited because we're going to see the ace on the mound, Liam Martin, the senior. Perfect. So starting lineups for today, and we'll read these off as you can see on our Eagan TV screen. But we got Tanner Recchio, the shortstop. He's going to be leading off. Braden Manning at first base. Will Wareham at the catcher. Josh Haugen's playing second. You got Teddy Juair, who's going to be playing on the left. Ryan Joyner in right. Cal Schmelsley DHing today. And then you have Ethan Derugo playing third base and Ryan Grodin in center. And then actually the DH Schmelsley is also the pitcher today. So they're having him DH for himself, meaning that when if he gets taken out, then he'll stay in as the DH for that pitcher that replaces him later on in the game. So,
Casey talked about just the weekend and, the start for the Cats. Coach Butler's always going to have things to work on, and I'm sure his note card gets filled up every game. But, it has been cold. It's been windy. You've had to run out fly balls. There has been a lot going on. No excuses, and he wouldn't make them either. But the conditions, fields, it's been a tough sledding here these first few games.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, I think any of those early wins that you can get, fastball up and out to start off here, the first pitch of the day. We are looking at, like I said, about 47 degrees, 13 mile per hour winds to left field, so coming from the east, and we're at 4:30 exactly for the first pitch. Ball laced out to left, and a nice play. Diving to the ground is the left fielder Elias New. So they take off Recchio off the bases, and I remember him from last year being a threat at any time to steal. So that's a big out right away for Martin.
And a great play by Elias, who's kind of been versatile. Plays out left field, right field, played a little infield as he was on JV, so can kind of put him anywhere. And a great play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great play to start the game.
No, absolutely. And that's the big thing, too, as you know, if the ball gets up in that wind, it's going to be tricky for the outfielders. They have to kind of play under control, right? They can't, take too quick of first steps or second steps because they have to be under control. That way they know if the ball's going to be diving left, right.
Absolutely.
So go ahead.
And, that ball gets by him. That's probably a triple to your point earlier with the way that kid runs. So
absolutely,
that's a big out.
Huge play. So you got the first baseman now is up is going to be Braden Manning. On the season for Manning, as we got some stats through 5 games for Lakeville, he's batting .250, 4 hits and 16 at bats. Curveball doesn't curve up high, so we're sitting at 1-1 and 1 out here in the top of the first.
Liam looked really sharp, I thought, against Rosemont at the opener. And Rosemont's a heck of a team, and I thought he did a nice job keeping him off balance and threw a nice game for the opening win for the Cats.
Yeah, absolutely. And he does such a nice job of mixing it. I mean, he has an overpowering fastball. I've seen him since he's been a freshman. But at the same time, he knows when to use that curveball and then also the kind of changeup. I think he also kind of sometimes dabbles a little bit with maybe like a slider or kind of a slurve on his curveball. So obviously you can tell he's just kind of trying to get a good feel and a grip here early on.
Yeah, I thought the last time out against Rosemont, his fastball and his changeup, there was a nice difference in speed, which you don't always see at a high school level, which why Liam is one of the best pitchers in the conference, if not even the state. And his mechanics are the same. Some guys, the younger guys, they'll slow down a little bit when they're throwing off-speed or changeups, and you can pick it up. And I thought he does a nice job with just keeping everything the same.
Absolutely. On the season, Manning has 2 walks, so we'll see how much he keeps working this count. Here's a fastball, fouled off. So as we said, they came in 3-2. 3-2 on the season for Lakeville, and they haven't played a non-conference game yet, so they're 3-2 in the conference right now. And then their pitcher looks like it'll be his 3rd appearance of the season here today. Foul ball just misses down the line. Still 3-2, 1 out here, top of the first. Lakeville North taking on the home team Eagan Wildcats.
Good at bat here by Manning, going 3-2 and fouling off some pitches. And anytime you get to a 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 pitch at bat, that's a good at bat.
Well, absolutely. As you know, too, especially with high school, another foul ball lifted left. But as you know, in high school, with the adding on the last few years of the pitch count, right? It's especially when you're facing the team's ace, right? I mean, you want to work the count against most teams, but as you know too, I mean, there's certain pitchers that they tend to throw first pitch fastball, first pitch curveball, so people are going to jump on that first pitch. The payoff pitch once again fouled off. So yeah, we are up to a let's see here, I think about an 8 or 9 pitch at bat already here for Manning.
I mean, if you could make any starter go 20, 30 pitches right out of the gate, and especially if there's pitch counts early in the year, so again, quality at bat.
Absolutely.
And we saw a fair amount of that. I thought a credit to
ball hit to shortstop Ryan Danich, relay over, and it's going to be high to Harms. Manning's going to take a big turn and get back to first. So routine play, but ball kind of escaped Danich's hand on the throw. So now we're going to have an E6. Is going to be in the books, and then now we're going to bring up, it's going to be the catcher, number 8, and that's going to be Will Wareham.
Good hustle by Griffin Finsky, I thought, behind the dish, who kind of got down the line, kind of put it back up.
Yeah, it just kind of looks like he lifted a little bit on his throw, just kind of maybe that front shoulder kind of got pulled up, and that kind of left Harm in a tough spot at first. They try to jump off and try to get to it. Yeah. But doesn't have nobody has the go gadget arms. So we got an 0-1 count here to Wareham on a nice pitch by Liam on the outside corner here. And that's the other thing too, as you know, is the big thing too in that beginning of the game for a pitcher is also just kind of understanding what that strike zone is going to be.
Absolutely.
Right? And the more you can pound that outside corner or the inside corner or knees or chest, that's when all of a sudden now that second or third inning you're going to start more than likely getting that call, right? So
absolutely.
That's I think what we're kind of noticing with Liam is he hasn't been all over the place. It looks like he's still trying to get a little bit of a grip on his curveball, but it's going to come and it's a cold day and he's got to lick the fingers quite a bit, in between pitches, so make sure it's not slipping out of your hand.
And that's a little thing too with this weather. Again, no excuses, but if you're out there for 5, 6, 10, 12 minutes and you get a ground ball, your hand's a little cold, you got to get the grip.
Yep.
And as we saw maybe a little bit there, if your footwork isn't exactly perfect, then you have a poor grip, and then that's when things can happen. And that's why the spring baseball in Minnesota, right? You gotta
absolutely.
You'll hear every coach run it out.
Right.
Run it
Wareham
out.
has played and started every game this year as he works the count to 2-2. He's batting 200 on the season, 3 for 15 with a couple RBIs. Overall, though, it looks like they are kind of an aggressive swinging team. There isn't, the most anybody has is 5 walks on the early season. So I think, Lakeville North, for the most part, is going to try to work the count, but they're also going to be, trying to put the ball in play as opposed to, taking 1 or 2 strikes to start the at-bat. Right?
Absolutely. And I think I haven't seen Lakeville North this year, but I would say just in years past and being around this conference for a while, what you described is pretty much what they've been like. I mean, they generally come out swinging the bat.
So 3-2, the payoff pitch, and a quick throw over.
Nice
I think we got him.
They got him. Great move.
Absolutely. So the quick step, not even that big of a lead by Manning, but kind of got him caught, froze, and the perfect time to do it, right? 3-2 count. The runner at first is more so kind of tuned in to see, if he can get off on the swing of the bat. So Leon helps his cause, and now trying to see if he can get a strikeout here to end the inning, and still only face 3 batters.
And this game's about momentum and how do you get it back. And, they gave up a hit, and then, you get a guy to pick off at first. That's huge.
Absolutely.
And I know that Eagan spends a lot of time working on that, right?
Yeah.
In all the preseason stuff is working on pickoffs, both to all the bases.
Yeah, sometimes you wonder if it's a lost art because anytime you can, grab somebody at first or even a wheel play at second, right? I mean, just taking away outs. I mean, the name of the game is 21 outs.
Yep.
If you can get one of those back, right? And then you also take away potential big inning with their 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. So. And
like in any high school game, it's only these 5 is the team that can get as close to 21 outs the best, right? It's those free outs that kill you every inning. And you end up doing 25, 26, 27 outs in a game, it hurts.
Use them into harms, and that's going to end the inning. So 3 up and 3 down with that 1 error in the middle, but Liam Martin helps his cause by picking off Manning at first.
No runs, no hits, no errors.
So we see a nice little play here, and you know this third baseman quite well.
I know him a little bit. So yeah, nice play, good footwork, good throw over. So
yeah, just a clean routine play. Get back into the dugout.
But it starts with the old kind of pick you up, right? So they had a little miscue at short and first, see what happens. But Liam kind of picks him up, throws a nice little pickoff move. Next play's an out. So how do you kind of keep picking each other up? Because this is going to happen in the game, right? You're going to have errors. You're going to strike out. But how do you stay positive and get the next play?
Absolutely. So a little background on our pitcher today. It's going to be, like I said, it's Calvin or Cal Schmelsley is his name. On the season, he's pitched twice. He's 1-0. He's got a 7 ERA and 9 innings pitched. So he looks like maybe had 1 bad out in between the 2. 7 strikeouts to 2 walks, so doesn't walk a lot of people. They're going to be putting the ball in play. Looking over at Eagan's lineup, we're going to start leading off with the center fielder will be Alex Lachenmeier, and then Mason Amon, the second baseman, will be batting second. Liam, the pitcher, Liam Martin, who's pitching and DHing essentially for himself as well, will be batting third. Charlie Harms, the first baseman, will be batting fourth. Yeah, there we go. And then Griffin Fensky catching today, and then followed by the shortstop Ryan Danich. Will Huseman will be playing third, batting in the 7th spot. Elias New made that great catch out and left to start the game off. Will be batting in the 8th spot. And then David Rockford will be in right field batting at the 9th spot. So kind of the same lineup that you probably have seen most of the season, right? I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of tweaks other than, unfortunately, losing George to injury. Losing an outfielder in that capacity, right?
Especially a caliber of George. George is one of the best outfielders in terms offensively.
Yes.
He can chase anything down.
Yeah.
The lineup's been similar. He's tweaked a little bit, 5, 6, and 7 moved around, but it's been the lineup. And you mentioned Alex Lachenmeier. I mean, 3-sport athlete up here at Eagan. Yep. Great kid. And, a starter here, gets on the bases. Good things can happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alex runs really well.
Yeah, and, had a real nice season, and I remember from last year really coming on in the second half of the season, right? Really good, strong at-bats as that first pitch by Schmelsley is a strike on the outside corner. And then, Lachenmeier's just trying to kind of get the wave going, right? Get the good vibes going as he has 1 hit on the season. So looking to kind of, be the fire starter, right? To be in the leadoff spot and then also be a threat on the bases, like you said.
And, the 1 hit I think is a little misleading right there base hit up the middle. Middle misleading. He's had some really good at-bats, I think, this spring.
Absolutely.
And not a lot to show for it, but great swings like that one right there.
Batting for the Wildcats.
Schmelsley's curveball kind of hung up there a little bit, and just a nice piece of hitting by Lachenmeier just to go with the pitch. And as we can see right here on the replay, curveball's up high, and then just fights it off straight up the middle. So
a great at bat, waited
absolutely.
for it. And now with Alex, who runs well, Mason the lefty, it gives you options. And I think Coach Butler's always likes that, right? What can I do? How do we get people in motion?
So Amon's going to show bunt on that first off-speed pitch by Schmelsley, and 0-1's our count. Lachenmeier on first. Like we said, we'll see if the run game's put into play. Maybe the old fake bunt steal, maybe a bunt, maybe see if he can go from second all the way to third. Pickoff attempt as Lachenmeier's back in.
It's going to be tough to hit one out of here at right today. That wind, as you mentioned, is blowing in pretty strong from right field.
Yeah, I think you're correct there. And Eagan's had a few powerful lefties, and I don't think they would have taken one out today either.
No.
That one's going to get out. So we're going to have an 0-2 count here for Amon.
We talked about Saturday, Charlie Harms's ball. He hit that, cleared the bases in a gusty wind, and he hit it almost to the 370 mark in deep right field. And on a normal day, that would have been out of here.
Right, absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah, and speaking of Charlie, he's going to Nyack, so that's the North Iowa Area Community College. Yep. So he's locked in there. As many of you know that are Eagan fans, Liam Martin declared last year already. As we watch Amon see that fastball in the outside corner going for strike 3, and that's going to bring up the pitcher Liam Martin. And as we said, he declared last year he's going to California, Santa Barbara, and that's in the Big West, and it's basically all California schools other than Hawaii.
Absolutely. What a great opportunity.
Absolutely.
Both academically and athletically.
Yeah. Yep.
It looks like Mason might have been looking off speed there. Maybe got a little.
Yeah, that's why I was impressed with Lachenmeier. He watched that first pitch fastball, which is understandable and pretty common, right, for a leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
But he did such a nice job of hitting on that off speed on that curveball for that second pitch. So Martin kind of follows cue with taking that first pitch for a strike, and I'm guessing that's going to be something that they'll probably change up the second time through, or obviously Schmelsley will be not throwing fastballs every time for that first pitch. Now we got a 1-1 count, one out here. Lachenmeier led off the game on the second pitch of the game on a curveball for a base hit up the middle.
Good.
We got a bottom of 1 here. Another pickoff attempt over.
Well, they're noticeably worried about Alex just because he does run well. And
yeah.
Eagan has been prone to run, so you put that together, I could see why they're paying close attention to Alex over there.
Well, I think Manning's, and there we go. That was a good foul tip. I think what they're trying to work on too is Manning wants to get one back after getting picked off in that first inning, right? He wants to try to slap the glove down too to steal an out back. And then also too on the Eagan squad, you have Amon and Ryan Danich that are undecided right now, but they have plans of playing in college as well. So this has been obviously, as you know, following as a parent and watching these guys kind of come up. I mean, this has been a really good group that have been together now for 2-3 years.
There goes
so
Alex.
Fastball's low and out. No dig there by the second baseman, Haugen, and Lachenmeier gets his first steal of the season.
I think that would have been close either way, but as we said, Alex runs well, and not surprising that Coach Butler wanted to get some guys in motion here.
Yeah, I was impressed. I mean, Wareham got rid of it quick. I mean, he threw it. I mean, that's kind of what you want, right? A quick short hop. So it just, I don't know if it just snapped up or maybe when Lachenmeier was sliding in, maybe that's where, Haugen maybe just kind of lost, track of that bounce at the last second. There's a ball hit, one hop over to Haugen, and he relays it over to Manning for the first out, or excuse me, the second out here to retire Martin. So now you got Charlie Harms coming up, the senior, first baseman.
That's a big play earlier because, if Alex doesn't steal there, that's a potential double play.
Exactly. Well, it was a one hop. I mean, that would have been a quick turn. Absolutely.
Not for sure, but, that's at least it keeps us fighting here with at least a guy in third and 2 outs now, and you're.
I would say, it's like, a second baseman on that play. The only thing is, was pulling him to his right, so it would have been interesting to see which footwork, either a drop step to then open his body up to throw to short, or if you'd have to completely turn around. If you have to turn around with Martin being fast enough, he probably would have broken it up. But yes, that's why putting that runner in motion is so important early on. And
to your point, if the second baseman's moving to his left, he does do a spin move, you lose sight of your shortstop, that ball can also be thrown in the left field. So a lot of things can happen there.
All right, Charlie Harms on the season's been, and like I said, these stats are through their first 4 games, so it just doesn't include, the first 3 games. So 2 games missing, but at that point, Charlie was batting .333. Curveball hangs up, but still crosses the zone. And obviously he added some RBIs to his stats on Saturday that we're not seeing on here.
2 big RBIs. That
ball lifted down the left field line. It's going to go out of play.
And the wind is blowing hard to left, so anything close to the foul line is probably going to keep going.
I was just going to say, you get one up, and you get at least a little bit more to, right there, left center. You could have a Wildcat jack or a Panther poke potentially today, right? So we're going to see what happens. But, I think a lot of it's going to be just, making the plays on the ground, right? And then Haugen's going to do the little flip over to Manning for the 3rd out. So for Eagan there in the top of the 1st, they strand 1. There was 4 up, and they had no runs but 1 hit. And then we're going to see that replay, just a kind of routine grounder, bouncer. Nice job of Haugen to get in front of it, and then just a nice, easy underhand throw. I mean, that's, as you know, too, half the time you run into the issue where you're that close. Yeah, you don't want to throw the fireball at the first baseman and then bring in Lachenmeier from 3rd.
And it's nice he came to get it and didn't let the ball play him, which, again, anything can happen. So.
Yep, absolutely.
And, we've all been there, that 10-foot fastball at somebody, it throws you off. So.
Absolutely.
Well, it could be in for a pitcher's duel. Certainly Liam has been outstanding, and based how the 1st inning went, we'll see. Good defense. And
yeah, I think, kind of what we mentioned earlier, just with the wind. And, I mean, it's not like it's frigid. I mean, it's not like it's in the high 30s. I mean, we are upper 40s, but with that wind, I think the biggest issue for, Martin and then Schmelzli is going to be, how good of grip they get for their off speeds, right? For their curveball, for their sliders and so forth. And that's the worrisome thing is that, those are the pitches that if you hang, those are the ones that are going to get popped out, So I think that's what we'll kind of see here as the game goes on is, how sharp of curveballs they have. Because, you can't just go fastball the whole game, even if you have a great fastball like Liam might, or does.
And anything up in the wind today to left field is certainly going to have a chance.
Yeah,
you're not ever going to have to hit it flush, and you'd have a chance to get it out. And I do like the Wildcats new unis. First time I've seen these.
Yeah, Coach Butler was pretty excited. This is the unveiling of them today with their ace on the mound too. So no, I like them. I like them a lot. They, I think you kind of go back to the more classic look of just being sharp, right? And you don't need a lot of stripes and logos and so forth. So, alrighty. So now coming up here for Lakeville North, in the top of the 2nd is going to be that second baseman, and that's going to be number 14, Josh Haugen. On the season, Haugen batting .286 through 4 games, so didn't start one of those games. 4 for 14 with 5 runs on the season, so he's a threat obviously on the bases as well. But with that being said, I guess on the season Lakeville is 8 of 10 for stolen bases, so they do put a few of their guys in motion as well.
Well, you can make things happen. The catchers, maybe throwing against the wind here a little bit based on when it's gusting out, too. So that may affect when coaches decide to run.
Yep. Nice pitch in the outside corner. Got the big open stance, so I think probably the game plan is try to work away.
Yeah. I see more and more of that, a little more open stance, which that must be maybe, not going to say necessarily new, but you do see more and more of that than I used to.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just, I think hitters, just getting more comfortable and feeling like they have a better view of seeing the pitch coming in, right? And then their load foot as far as their timing. But yeah,
nice breaking ball there.
You don't see kind of the classic stand as much anymore, right? No, absolutely. So that was a sharp curveball there from Liam. We got a 1-2 count. Another fastball, up high. Might have tried to throw an off speed that got away from him. It's hard to tell on that pitch.
And the wind's going to wrestle with those off-speed pitches too. They're going to make it move a little bit, whether it's a changeup or a slider or curveball or split finger, whatever they may have. And that's
There's
nice
that curveball on the outside corner. So Martin picks up what is now a 2nd strikeout of today's game. And they're going to snap around the horn, and that's going to bring up the left fielder. And the left fielder will be number 12, Teddy Jouer. So Teddy Jouer.
That was a nice sequence of pitching right there for Liam. That whole at-bat, how he kind of started outside, came inside with some off-speed, and then ended up with an outside on the outer half of the
Wow, just painting the corner. I mean, Griffin didn't even really have to move his glove, right? So he was setting up outside and low and put it right on that same spot for him. So looks like Martin's now getting back in his groove. Another first pitch strike.
And I've noticed that a few times, Casey, where literally where Griffin has set the glove, Liam has absolutely hit that spot. And when you can locate your fastball right there, it sets up everything else.
Absolutely. Well, and as hitters, when they know that a pitcher's on and he's hitting spots, then if he does leave one up or whatever, then they're looking, maybe he's trying to pitch me outside, he's trying to pitch me inside, and that's when you get away with, that high fastball. So 3-pitch strikeout. So got 2 strikeouts here in a row, and Liam is starting to just kind of pound the strike zone.
Joyner.
So we got the right fielder coming up, number 16, Ryan Joyner. Another strikeout here, another outside, a little bit higher, but still thigh level.
3 great pitches, though.
Absolutely. So Joyner on the season actually is their hottest hitter coming in today's game, as once again another first pitch fastball for a strike. Batting .417, so 5 for 12, 2 RBIs on the season.
It's a good start.
So yeah, he's as he looks at one here in the dirt.
Maybe a little low, huh?
Yeah.
But Liam definitely appears to be settled in this inning. How he's
Yeah, absolutely. Get a better grip, better feel, and then going back towards their game plan with their hitters. Another fastball. And as you know, I mean, the new pitching coach this season is Tony Vaca. So Tony obviously knows knows a lot of these kids from MASH and so forth, but now he's the one kind of in charge of the pitching game plan, each and every night. Ground ball is going to be hit, and it's actually being cut off by Martin. A little underhand flip to Harms. And we got another 1-2-3 inning for Liam Martin. So no runs, no hits, and no errors. And Liam gets through with 2 strikeouts. And it's a nice job, pitcher's being a fielder, right, hopping off the mound, because, that would have been a tough play for Amon to come in on a slow roller like that.
That gets by him, that's probably a base hit.
Yep. Yeah, and as we
talked,
talked,
Liam plays short, right? So he knows what he's doing out there. Anytime a pitcher can field the position that well, it's just.
I don't think he gets called off too much on a pop fly on the mound, right?
He can handle it. That does get by him. That's right. That would have been a very tough play for Amon at second base coming in. He would have been fielding it, kind of coming towards the plate, having to try to throw the other way. That would have a lot of things go right. So Liam did a nice job.
Give a quick announcement here. If you want to be part of the action here at the game, you can volunteer with ETV, and you can be part of our TV sports crew. Sign up at Eagan-TV.com. Eagan-TV.com.
Well, Casey, we appreciate you calling these games for us. It's been a few years now you've been doing this.
Yeah,
right?
No, I really enjoy it. Like I said, mainly I, when Coach Butler took over, I played with him and played college baseball at Concordia St. Paul. Good buddy of mine, and so then when he took over, he needed a PA guy and a scoreboard guy, so I was happy to do that and have a rooting interest because I'd be cheering for his squad anyways.
There you
go. From afar, so it's been a lot of fun to get to know the parents and the players, and then kind of be part of the action. So this year it's just more of a little bit TV duties for a few games, but still happy to be out here and being part of Eagan baseball as Griffin Fenske's going to step in.
My sources tell me your college days, good bat, good glove, didn't run real well. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's all right. I mean, I wasn't a super fast guy, right? I mean, I'm little, but Fenske takes a strike on the outside corner. Fenske catching here today for the Wildcats. But yeah, no, played some second base, some third base. Butler was an outfielder primarily for us, and then obviously that next year when I was gone, he played some infield as well. So. The versatile Steve Butler, and then he took that kind of utility role, and that's what got him to play for the St. Paul Saints for so long. So 2-1's our count here, bottom of the second. Lakeville North, you got Cal Schmelzley's on the mound. Fastball in the outside corner is in for a strike. So
Griffin missed a couple games, but same thing was kind of like we said with Alex. Of Griffin has been hitting some balls hard.
Right.
He's had the old hard outs. He's great contact on a few and
check swing, and they're going to check it. And no.
He did not go.
So, absolutely no. Through 3 games, Griffin was batting 400. Essentially, what was it? 4 for 10 with 2 runs. So, and as we know, he's got some pop. He's got that kind of that power alley pop at the same time, right? To put it in the gap.
Shortstop.
Looks like we're going to have a courtesy runner for the catcher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Parker Fowl, who is. As you will hopefully see here, Parker can run.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I remember him last year. A lot of key, big stolen bases and key moments, right?
Very good football player, running back, runs very well. So no surprise here. That I wouldn't surprise me at all, right, if he doesn't get him moving a little bit here.
Yep, absolutely. Shortstop number 2, Ryan Danich is in. Pick off a temp.
Talk about versatile. Ryan plays outfield. He pitches. He plays shortstop. He really You know, he'll put me in, coach, I'll play, and that's been Ryan.
Yeah, no,
for most of his high school career.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was going to say too. I mean, last year primarily used as a reliever and a spot starter, right? But yeah, he's showing that he can play kind of all over the field, get his bat in the lineup, and then the primary shortstop when Liam is pitching. So good secondary by Parker is going to get a throw down from Wareham down to Manning. So I mean, that's ball could get hung up, and you can all of a sudden have.
I mean, even there, you comment like, yes, Parker was off a ways, and at first you're like, uh-oh, but he is so quick back.
Yep, absolutely. And you want him to make that throw. As you see Parker take off, good throw down to second. Haugen is unable to get the scoop, and Parker slides into second safely. So 2-0 count, nobody down here. Eagan with their best chance, even though they did have Lachenmeier at second with one out in the first inning. So we'll see here if Coach Butler goes with either a bunt, maybe even get a foul over to third, or maybe even Danich's job is to try to kind of look at something outside and hit away. Try to put something on the right side.
And I think you even asked the boys in the team, Ryan is pretty much the spark plug here. He gets the guys going. He gets them riled up. He'll lead some cheers. He's definitely the spark plug of this team.
And you need that. You need to have, whether it's a junior or a senior, it can be a sophomore. You just need, because there's going to be lulls in the game, right? And lulls in the week and the season. So you need somebody to kind of keep everybody in tune and make sure you're not having kind of a lackadaisical day.
Absolutely.
So 4-pitch walk to Danich. And then now we're going to have the third baseman come up, number 10, Will Huseman.
So we'll see with first and second, nobody out. Does he bunt here? Does he let him swing away? We'll see. But he definitely have a good opportunity here for the Cats.
Yeah.
It wouldn't totally shock me if he bunted them, but
I think with having a lefty up, as long as Schmelzley isn't trying to pitch him outside, you can probably get something, hit on the right side.
Yeah.
At least get Parker over and potentially Danich over as well. Nice curveball on the outside corner, caught for a strike there. So 0-1's our count.
I will say Will has had a couple games. He has been going the other way well. So if he throws him outside, he definitely may have to.
There's a rip, and we're going to have to watch the first fly ball today.
That wind, like we've talked about,
So that's not an infield fly?
Oh, that's...
Okay, so I'm confused here, because shouldn't that have been called an infield fly with runners on first and second?
I would think that would have been an infield fly with first and second.
Yeah, I was waiting kind of for that first pop-up, whether it was to the outfield or the infield. I'm kind of surprised that Manning kind of gave up on it so early because it was right by him. I mean, Haugen was the one that had to do all the traveling over to get to it.
Yeah, as we've talked about the wind, I mean, it clearly played a role right there.
Absolutely.
But I'm a little surprised. It looks like the umpires are kind of talking and conferring what's going on.
That's
but
why
I think it would have been an infield
Well, that's
fly.
why I was confused because, for Danich's case, I mean, Danich just kind of stayed at first like he's supposed to, right?
Yeah.
And he was kind of just sitting there kind of looking around like, isn't somebody going to call out, an infield fly? Essentially, that's part of the reason they put that in, right? I mean, because otherwise the whole, back in the day, the whole point was somebody pretend like they're going to catch it, drop it, and then try to get an easy double play.
The old hit the heel of your glove and drop right in front of you.
Yeah, and you could still do that on a line drive, right? But
it looks like they're putting guys back on first and second now, which is probably the right call.
I just don't know why.
Because you're right, but neither runner could do anything.
No.
You have to stay on that.
I just don't understand why it wasn't communicated right away.
That probably should have been ideally called right away, right by the umpire. But
I mean, the one thing I will say is, maybe off the bat, he thought it was going to be like just short right field, maybe, and then the wind held it up into the infield. But at the same time, that was like your classic infield fly.
Absolutely.
So we'll get all this kind of worked out, but in the meantime, we're going to have Elias New, the left fielder, is going to be coming up, and it should be, like we said, it should be first and second with one out, as we're still getting a little bit of a tea party kind of getting figured out here, out on the field. And I don't know if the Panthers have found a way to win an argument here. But I honestly think I'm guessing what he's saying is that I didn't call it because I thought it was going to be hit to the outfield. That's the one thing. Absolutely. So you guys can subscribe to ETV on YouTube, and that's where you're seeing some action here today as well via the YouTube link. So you can check us out on YouTube, as you can see, youtube.com/Eagan Television.
I think the Lakeville North coach probably has got a fair question of the same thing we've all said is probably should have been called right away. That's probably all he's talking to the umpire about.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also you can see, as shown all the social media markets, you have Eagan on Twitter as well as Eagan on Facebook as well. So get all of your updates, find out which games are going to be broadcast, links to the broadcast if you're not able to make the game or relatives out of the state. And it looks like Tony Market, the head coach for Lakeville, got somewhat of an explanation, but we're still figuring everything out here.
Umpires are still... And to your point, maybe they thought the ball was hit better than it was, but it landed pretty much right in the middle of the infield.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean, I think in a game like this with this much wind, I think you would just err on infield fly, and you could call it, and then that way, if the ball is in the outfield, then the runners can advance once it gets dropped, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it looks like now they're talking to Coach Butler, so maybe they are rethinking what they rethought.
I know, that's just it. I played a lot of baseball, and at the same time, you just sometimes just don't know, what the reasoning is behind a call or a missed call, and then how they're trying to figure it out or fix it, because there isn't really kind of the textbook, this is the way you handle it always, right? So that's why I think we're getting into this long discussion as to the what and why and how. But in theory, it should be first and second with one out. Haugen makes the catch, then we don't even have this conversation, right?
Yep.
I mean,
well, as we've talked, that wind is going to create problems today, as we just saw, and we're going to see it as it continues to gust here. Is the pitcher continuing to throw a little bit and stay loose?
Yeah. So we'll see, because I don't really know. I think they in theory had the out at second. The force out at second, and then maybe a tag at third on Parker. So in theory, if they stay with the main call, it would be 2 outs with. I guess they would bring back.
Yeah, Will would
go back and have to go to first, right? And Danich and Parker would have to go back to the dugout.
And I guess I don't know if they're saying was Parker tagged at third, or did he just step on the base where it wouldn't have played?
Right.
So is it first and third, 1 out? Is it first and second, 1 out? They would
have had to tag him because they got the force out first at second base. So.
And I don't know that they did tag him at third. I guess we'd have to see the replay. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he just. Oh, now they are.
Okay, so they're going to say Parker's out, but then what about Will at first? Oh, okay, so they say that they flipped it over to first for the out. Yeah. Okay, well.
So
essentially what they're saying, maybe that they never actually tagged the base at second. That's why Danich is safe. They did touch first because they touched first as the first out. Threw to second, never had the foot of the bag. Relayed it to third, and they did get the tag in on Parker. So a whole lot happened.
So they're saying that they got Will out at first too.
Yep. Yep. That's where the throw came from over to second, was from first. So I think that was the first force out. Okay, we're back to baseball. We got to throw it out to second, and now we're gonna have Danich scootering over to third. And actually, I think they're gonna bring him in and try to test out the arm. And close play at the plate. I thought he might have got slid a hand in. Danich is a little shooken up here on that head first slide into home. So we'll see here on this replay. So a little pickoff move with no communication, obviously, between second and short. Bobbled by center. That's what brought Coach Butler to wave him home, but a nice one-hop throw from center field, which would have been Grodin. And it looked like just in time. I mean, the throw was right on target, but I thought at first glance that he might have slid his hand in there. Hopefully he's okay to go back and play short.
Yeah, the head first slide is always interesting at the plate, especially with the catcher station there. But a good hustle. I mean, they've had the center fielder bobbled it, so they forced him to make a play, and they did.
Yep. Nope.
Well, what looked like a promising inning with first and second, nobody out.
Whole lot of confusion.
A lot of different turn of events there.
I'm still confused.
I
don't think we're going to get a clear answer either, because it looked like they had it one way, and then when Coach Market talked to him, as well as even the players talked to him. Then all of a sudden it seemed like it then turned back around to, no, I think we got 2 outs in that play.
Based on what happened, they must have said it, clearly they touched first. And I guess now what makes sense maybe a little bit is they're saying force out at first, obviously. Didn't tag him at second. They just did a force, which didn't apply then.
Relayed to third and tagged
him. Yeah. So where they thought a force wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was, it was an interesting turn of events. So.
But you still got your ace back on the mound here, and like we said, Liam is cruising. I think 3 strikeouts through 2 innings. Ended the last inning with 2 in a row, and looks like Danich is going to toughen it out at short. So we're going to try to get back into just a normal kind of swing of baseball and not have too many more interruptions here, we hope.
I don't know if that was Ryan's shoulder or maybe his finger or hand as he was sliding in.
Yeah. It happened so fast. I didn't even see where the tag, truly got him, if it got him on the hands or if he got him up in the body.
And the catcher did a nice job because it was kind of a hop. You had to kind of play with it. Yep. As a catcher, that's a tough play. You got to hold your ground on the base. You got to get a hop. You got to catch. You got to put a tag down, and that's why catcher is one of, if not the hardest positions around.
Absolutely. So the pitcher who's also DHing today is Cal Schmelsley, and he's going to be hitting here, leading off in the top of the third. He's their 7th hitter, so we're going to see 7, 8, 9. Curve on the outside corner is good for a strike. So Liam, once again, I think now it's about 5 batters in a row, first pitch strike, and he's also mixing it up.
I was just going to say he's throwing off speed and fastball for strikes.
Yep.
And when you can get ahead, you do a lot of good things.
Yeah, well, and then you just, the change of speed between that curveball and that fastball, and he hits, upper 80s anyways.
Absolutely.
Low 90 potentially too. So on probably a hotter day than today, but 0-2 pitch, strike.
Another.
Yeah, so we got, I think 3 straight strikeouts now between the last 2 innings.
3 of the last 4. We had a little, the comebacker ended. So 2 strikeouts last inning, little comebacker, and a strikeout. So really nobody's touched the ball but Liam here in the past 4 hitters
that's exactly
the Cats defense.
That's exactly it. Nice pitch again. Outside corner to the lefty on the knees. So we got the third baseman is going to be batting here. First pitch right back at us. But it's going to be Ethan Derugo. Derugo on the season. Try to pull up his stats.
Just been surgical with location here.
Yeah. Derugo batting .222 coming in today, 2 for 9. So hasn't seen the most at-bats, at least on the season. 3 walks, so he's worked the count. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, so a little bit of both. 1 RBI on the season as well. 1-1 is our count. Derugo at the plate. Another off-speed, nice and low. Good job by Fensky, even with no runners on, to still keep it in front.
Other than Manning, the second hitter of the game, who had a 10-12 pitch at bat, Liam has definitely settled in since then.
It's been a 3 or 4 pitches to each batter for the most part, right? So, been just pounding the zone. So, impressive to see him work. It's always fun to watch him on the mound.
Absolutely,
he's been doing this, like I said, since a freshman.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When he was a freshman, he might have looked like a freshman, and just by face, but the way that he had controlled and handled himself, he looked like he was already a junior or senior already as a freshman. So curveball doesn't curve, and it hits Derugo in the back.
Number 2, Ryan Grodin.
It's going to put him on first. So yeah, curveball just kind of held up, trying to go for that inside corner. So we're going to have the number 9 hitter. It's going to be the center fielder with that nice relay throw
play
home. Yep, absolutely, number 2. And that's going to be Ryan Grodin.
And we talked about just minimizing outs. Yeah, he bobbled that a little bit, but he came up, kept composure and put a good throw on it.
Excellent job of being a brick wall back there by Fensky, keeping that ball in front and keeping Derugo at first. Grodin on the season, their second highest average, batting .375. He started all 5 games, 6 for 16 with 9 RBIs. So they put him down the 9 spot, and obviously he's doing a good job of cleaning up the bases when he gets his chances. Ground ball over to Huseman. We could have 2 here. Relay over to Amon. Amon over to Harms. Not in time. Just a little too slow of a roller, I think, there. Will did a nice job of charging it, but you really couldn't do much more than that.
Yeah, he didn't hit it that sharply.
Yep.
But it took Will to the right or to the left, which is good, right, towards the out. So.
Yep, absolutely. No, and a good relay by Amon.
Yeah. I don't know if we have a replay. It didn't look like anybody really bobbled anything.
No.
It looked pretty clean. It was just, like I said, not maybe
Yeah, I mean,
That maybe hit hard.
no, absolutely. Grodin's got some speed moving down the line. First offering to the leadoff hitter, Recchio, is going to be hit out to left, and Elias New is going to be able to camp under it, and just in time for the wind to settle down,
Absolutely.
too. So they're in the top of third, they had no runs, no hits, and no errors. They did have that one batter that made base on the beanball. And we're going to watch this replay. Look off speed. Got a curveball to Recchio, and Recchio's their best hitter at their leadoff spot, their shortstop. And like we said, it was the perfect timing for the wind to kind of calm down, because that one would have moved. I mean, Elias had a good spot. He was camped under it, but that could have moved him quite a bit left or right. Well, probably more to his right.
And I think on TV that looks like a pretty routine play, but again, in this wind, there is nothing routine about anything. So Elias did a nice job staying with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And he also, good hustle by Lachenmeier to get over there, too, to kind of be right next to him and back it up, right? So little things like that, bounce off the glove, and Lachenmeier is able to get the out. Then you take away potentially a big inning with, guys on first and second with, 2 down. So leading off for Eagan here is going to be in the bottom of the third. We're going to have, Elias New is going to be leading off here. As we said, playing left field today, doing an excellent job. Had the diver for the first out of the game on Recchio. So Recchio has gone out to left 2 times. So doing a little bit of that Joe Mauer of, hitting to the backside of the field.
Yeah.
Curveball in for a strike by Schmelzli.
Certainly nice to get Elias on base. Elias runs very well. Good basketball player, too. Good athlete.
Yep.
And as we said, can play in a lot of different spots and has, over the past year or two, infield and outfield. So.
Yeah. And, as we talked with, Gio as the kids know him, but as George Anderson when he got injured, Elias is kind of the one he stepped in and, kind of taking on some of the outfield duties. And as you mentioned, when Liam is, sitting back at shortstop, then at times you're going to see Danich out in the outfield too. So, they do have the depth. They kind of have their right and their center field kind of, or Lachenmeier usually being left. Nice poke here by Elias out to would be the right fielder Joyner. Camps underneath it for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up number 9 hitter. We're going to see the replay here. Just got a little overextended. Did a nice job, though, kind of going with that off speed, but just got a little overextended, wasn't able to drive it. And Joyner just was easy one for him to camp out. And now we're going to have the right fielder, David Rockford. Number 4 is going to be batting. But yeah, as I mentioned, Lachenmeier usually was your left fielder. Now slides over to center, and then you got, but essentially you got the option of New, Rockford, and Danich for the most part, I believe, in the outfield, right?
Yes. Now as you mentioned, with George.
Yep.
George on the sidelines.
Yep. Rockford fouls one away on another off-speed pitch. So it looks like Schmelzli's getting a better feel for his off-speed. It seems at least in this inning, even in the lower hitters in the lineup, he's been kind of going probably almost like a 2-to-1 ratio of off-speed to fastballs.
Yep.
There's a fastball up.
So David also was pretty versatile. Played most of his younger baseball career in the infield, and then made the transition out to right field and done a very nice job. In fact, he started his first varsity game as a start last year. Was in the section final out in right field and did a great job.
Absolutely.
And David's a junior.
Pops one to left. It's going to be in foul territory. We're going to see if we can get a run through it. Recchio got the closest, but fouled by about 5 feet.
Good hustle, though, by all 3 Lakeville North players, third base, shortstop, and left field.
Yep, Rockford's a junior. And another thing, too, that I was going to mention was a little more balance between righty-lefty in the lineup, this year compared to last year. Last year you kind of had Will and Charlie, or Chuck, kind of your main 2 lefties, and then you're pretty heavy right-handed pitching. This year, as you can see, it's kind of about even, right?
Yeah.
Curveball swung on low on a 3-2 pitch for the second out as Schmelzli kind of cruising here now here in the bottom of the third. Kept it nice and low. Yeah, right down the middle but low. And it actually looked too like he really kind of stepped in the bucket, as they say, with his left foot on that. At least on that pitch, he actually kind of stepped even more towards first base than he normally does. So leadoff hitter is going to be coming up now, Alex Lachenmeier. Second pitch offering on a curveball, went up the middle for a base hit. Stole a base, and then was stranded at second. 0-2 is our count, 2 down, 0-0 is our score here in Eagan. About we don't know if we're going to get to 50, but we're at about 47. And as we said, at least as of game time, it was about 13-mile-an-hour winds coming from the east. So that was going kind of straight from center field all the way down the line of to left field.
It's a brisk 47 today.
I was going to say, I mean, it bumps up your spirit with any bit of sun out there, as we see a high fastball called for a strike that I don't think Lachenmeier appreciated per se. And Schmelze gets through at a 1-2-3 inning. So after, on the bottom of the third inning, no runs, no hits, and no errors. And Schmelze with 2 strikeouts.
He's settled in a little bit now.
And you might have got a little help there too by that frame by and that nice frame by Wareham too, because it looked like that pitch he was even maybe more out originally when it was kind of getting close to the plate, and he brought it back in. So, but we got a 0-0 game. Both teams, I guess, have had a little bit of opportunities. Egan's had more guys, had 2 innings of guys at least on second base, whereas Lakeville's only had to reach second once, and that was, I think, in the first.
Well, Liam's only one above the minimum here at this point. He's had a very, very good, solid start, and the game is moving along here in the top of the 4th already.
Yeah, well, and as we noticed too, especially with Liam's kind of dominance in that second and third inning, just hasn't been a lot of balls being put in play, right? So I mean, that's the other thing is, as you mentioned before, you don't see a ground ball, you don't see a fly ball for a while. You just gotta always kind of stay on your toes, because that could be the key point of the game, in a game that might end up being a 1-0 win.
Absolutely. And as we talked about earlier, it's those little plays, right? How do you keep a team to 21 outs?
Yep.
And not give them any extra outs any inning.
Absolutely.
And the high school team that can play the cleanest will generally win.
Yep.
As a coach of mine always said, he goes, literally the team that can play catch the best will win, right? How do you?
I know. Baseball, you can simplify it, I feel like, a lot of times too, and not overthink it. So we got leading off here in the top of the 4th is going to be the first baseman. It's going to be Braden Manning.
And as we talked with Manning, his last at bat was a good 10-12 pitch at bat. Ended up getting on base after a miscue at short, but.
So we'll see what Liam does here. And we're starting off with off speed with the curveball. Inside, just missing.
Liam wanted to check and see if he went across with the first base, but hey, nothing wrong with asking, right?
Hey, when I pitch, I want to check everyone too. And if I was a catcher, I'd do the exact same. Fastball misses out. You just got to make sure that the first base ump's paying attention. And if he isn't, maybe he's going to give you a strike, right?
No harm in asking.
No, absolutely. Manning batting .250, as we said previously, two RBIs in the season, 2 walks. He's actually been hit by pitch 3 times already, so he's got some bruises already in the season, as there's a fastball on the outside corner. And Braden's he's also 2 for 2 on stolen bases. So, as a bigger, taller kid, can boogie a little bit on the base pass. So they want to keep him off, especially at the top of the lineup here. Ground ball hit over to third baseman Huseman. Huseman's relay over to Harms is in time, and the easy routine play for the first out of the inning. So that's kind of what you're noticing too. Is that early on, and as we see the replay, is kind of with his off speed, right? He's getting Will's gonna get a lot of ground balls at third, right? Because they're gonna be pounded into the ground, being out in front on the pitch, right? And they're not really squaring up that off speed. So catcher coming up here, number 3 hitter, number 8, and that's gonna be Will Wareham.
Well, all the outs are important, but it's always nice to get that first one.
Yep, right? Absolutely. Especially, like you said, with a guy that gave Liam his toughest at bat so far of today on a 10-pitch at bat. A big bounce.
Low.
So 2-0 our count, 1 down. As you see the catcher, Will Wareham, batting. On the season, coming in today, batting .200, 2 RBIs as well. Ball hit up the middle. Great play by Danich. Relay in time. 2 steps and a dive, and a great relay by Danich as he takes away a hit from Wareham. This will be a fun little replay for you.
Great play by Ryan. As we've talked about a spark plug. Well, here's a play right here that'll get the team going.
Look at those.
Great dive up the middle.
Got those soft mitts, as they like to say.
Yeah, gets up, good footwork, squares up, good pitch or good throw to first.
Yeah, strong throw. And just the leather work, right? Just to read that bounce. So now we're gonna have a slow roll. He has a charge. Danich in time over to Harms. So quick inning. So Danich on 2 straight pitches makes a diving play and then a nice routine play coming up and charging it. So no runs, no hits, and no errors, giving Eagan a little more momentum. if I can get that out here in the top of the fourth.
As we said, the team that plays catch the best will win. So 3 nice plays, but certainly the highlight was Ryan's play up the middle. And what I liked about Ryan's plays, sometimes you'll see a great play in the field, and they don't always square up and put a good throw together, right? And they make a great first play, and then the back half turns into something else, and Ryan did everything perfect.
Yep, no, absolutely. And as you said, the spark plug makes the plays to get the offense going here in the bottom of the fourth. So another update here. You don't have to be an athlete to be part of the team here at Eagan TV. Eagan TV does need volunteers to help run the cameras and make Wildcats sports broadcasts happen. You can visit them and sign up to volunteer with the help of camera work at eagan-tv.com and sign up today. Once again, we always like to thank Eagan TV. I know that the kids and obviously relatives that aren't able to make it here, love being able to see the broadcast and just view in, chime in for wherever they may be. So I've heard of relatives out in California and so forth, that are able to at least capture a good chunk of games throughout the season of relatives, grandkids, and so forth.
Absolutely, it's a wonderful thing they do, and like you said, a lot of the family members like it that can't get here, or maybe would rather sit it out than at the cold ballpark today.
Right, absolutely.
Well, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a great week of weather, so hopefully they can get them all in, because every week they miss a game or two, and next thing you know, they're having a hard time getting them all in.
And as you know, too, it's just, then you're also at a certain point, you're banking on, rescheduling to be double headers, which then puts your pitching, taxes your pitching staff, right? And then at the same time, now you're really banking on having good weather to try to get 2 games in. And when in a place like Wildcat Park where you don't have lights, now you got to find a place that you can play from. Might have to start at 3 or whatever it might be, right? So, all right, here we got bottom of the fourth. We got the second baseman here coming up. It's Mason Amon. Get a nice
little base hit bunt here. Nice play actually by the pitcher.
Yeah, absolutely. Though. No, you needed just either a little bit more down the line or even a little harder to get past Schmelsley. But Schmelsley did a nice job of popping off the rubber, as we're going to see here.
Yeah, maybe
getting over to it quick, fielding it clean, making a strong throw, right?
Absolutely. A little bit harder, maybe a little bit more down the line. That's probably a base hit. But just like we talked about with Ryan, you make the play, you square up, you put a good throw together, and that's.
Absolutely. Fastball to Liam Martin, the pitcher DH here today. It's going to be up for a ball. One down here. We got no 0-0 score, as you can see on the TV. Both teams kind of been feeling each other out here a little bit here in the first few innings, but both pitchers are doing an excellent job of limiting damage and limiting runners on base.
And they're coming up with some good defensive plays on both sides now. Liam hit a ball hard to kind of a little bit the hole between first and second, and the second baseman had a nice play last at bat.
There's a pop to center, but it's going to be a routine out in center field for Grodin. So Martin retired on the 2-0 fastball on the out to Grodin. Got up in the wind, but didn't really get moved that much. I mean, Grodin only went about 2 feet, a couple steps to his right, really, once that ball settled in.
They definitely appear to be playing most of the Eagan hitters to pull.
Yes. Yep. No, absolutely.
At least in the outfield, that's for sure. And
first baseman, the senior, Charlie Harms, as we mentioned before, going to Nyack, which is North Iowa Area Community College. So he's set to play some more ball here after the season. As we mentioned, after 3 games, he was batting .333, but had the big triple. Right? Was
on
a triple?
Saturday, yeah.
So added some RBIs to his total as well as his batting average.
Always fun to do a walk-off, that's for sure.
Absolutely. In any fashion, right? If you watched the Twins last night, that was about the weirdest walk-off that you've ever seen. 2-1's our count here. 1 down, bottom of the fourth. Curveball in for a strike. So Schmelsley's done a nice job too of getting his command of his off speed. Early on, it was a lot of pounding fastballs, and it was a little over the all over the place, kind of running some high fastballs, and he gets away with a high fastball for strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down inning for Lakeville North. No runs, no hits, and no errors here. And after 4, we have a 0-0 contest, and still only 1 hit on the board.
It looks
For your insurance
Charlie may want to
needs.
like to have that one
Great
back.
rates
A little
with
up and out of the
service,
zone, but
home use, insurance
Yeah.
agency,
you know the
staff,
game always looks
Rhonda,
easy on this side of the
or
fence,
Well,
but
it's just it. I know you get a little aggressive, you know,
Like to say thank
probably trying to
you
go with that
to
pitch to
Ballpark
left, you know,
Realty
and even, or maybe even
also.
just foul it off, right?
Rowdy,
Thinking that
the
maybe, you know,
Realtor
didn't want to leave it up to
Realty
chance of
Baker.
being called for strike
Sam's
3.
Club. You can buy
But yeah,
things in
so
bulk.
through 4 innings,
Urban Escapes.
you know, Eagan has the
US
lone
Bank,
hit on Lachenmeier's leadoff
Midwest
single.
Bank.
it's proving to be a
AMA
tough day of hitting at the
Transportation.
plate, that's for sure.
Thank you so
Yep.
much to our sponsors.
You know, we'd like to thank a few of our Wildcat
Yeah.
sponsors. We have some, you know, wonderful partnerships with a few companies, and it's great thanks to all. So Step Up Nutrition, who's new this year for 2022, thank you. Affinity Plus Credit Union, another new sponsor this year. Dunn Brothers, another new sponsor. Twin Cities Orthopedic. So thank you to all the sponsors that help support Eagan baseball and the kids out here.
Absolutely. I mean, as you know too, I mean, for any type of organization, high school, youth, and so forth, there's so much that's behind the scenes, and there's just so much help that's being given, and that's a beautiful thing to, you know, whether it's, you know, helping out with equipment or, you know, new uniforms or repairs of the field. I mean, it could be a multitude of things, right? So yeah, I've you know, being a part of this, like I said, for about 4 years, you see the kind of the community aspect of
Absolutely.
everybody kind of chipping in, right?
Absolutely. And Eagan Baseball Booster Club does a nice job.
Yep, absolutely.
Jack Esser and Pete Amman, who are kind of
Now batting.
the president and vice president, do a wonderful job kind of corralling everybody and getting things organized. And, you know, hats off to those two. And all the people that do a lot of volunteer work. But, you know, it's hard to mention names because you feel like you're missing some people. And then there's a lot more than those two. And they would be the first to say it. But those two do an awful lot of work.
Absolutely. So Teddy Joyner, the left fielder, is going to step in here. And I think what did
Struck out looking last time
right.
up.
There's a fastball in the outside corner that blows past Teddy. Teddy batting .250 on the season, has started all 5 games, 5 for 20. He does have 5 runs, so a threat on the bases as he's 1 for 1 on stolen bases. He fouls that one back.
Another
A double on the
fastball.
season and 5 RBIs. So actually, besides Grodin, who, like we said, is batting in the 9th spot, he's has the most second most RBIs on the season.
Another fastball in on the hands there. And on a day like that you can feel it on a day like today.
Absolutely. There's this fastball in the outside corner for strike 3. So the K's are starting to mount, and he's doing it in a efficient fashion too. It's not a 3-2 count strikeouts. It's essentially an 0-2 count strikeout or a 1-2 count strikeout. So now we're gonna bring up the right fielder. It'll be number 16, and that's Ryan Joyner. Ryan Joyner coming up. I think also struck out his first at bat, correct?
No, Ryan was a comebacker.
Okay, comeback.
Comeback, and Liam did a nice play.
Yeah. Trying to do a little drag bunt to the right side.
Nice
Just
hustle
thinking the
by
bat,
Griffin to pop out of there. And again, that's not an easy play, right? You're down, you're calling the pitch, you get set to go, you got to spring out. Griffin did a nice job trying to get after that one.
Yeah, and as we said, Joyner started and played 4 of their 5 games with the highest average at .417. So does have 5 strikeouts on the season, but he's 5 for 12. Fouls that one straight back. So 0-2's our count, 1 out. And Liam once again trying to make quick work here of Joyner in the top of the 5th. Fast-moving game too.
Yeah, he's been surgical at 0-2 counts, just putting exactly where he wants it.
There's that
And
off-speed.
another nice off-speed pitch. And that is his 5th strikeout of the day.
Absolutely. So 2 down. You can see this beauty of a curveball here. Just the snap of it.
Beauty. Yeah, that's
Pitcher number
5 of the
Al
14
Schmelzer.
outs on strikeouts.
Yeah, and and he kind of has that natural. As we see the comebacker, that was going to be Schmelzy, the pitcher. The pitcher back to the other pitcher for a quick out, and then a quick inning of no runs, no hits, and nobody left down as we watch another comebacker, his second of the game.
Say hello.
That's his second inning of the 5 where it's been 2 strikeouts and a comeback.
Yep.
So he has been in control the entire game.
Yeah, and what I was going to say too is, Liam does have that, that sharp curveball that's more of that 12-6,
Yes.
right? You tend to see kind of that, if you're looking at the clock, right? If you're looking at either like a 1 a 1 or 2 to 7, right? Kind of that more of the looper. His is more of just dropping straight off the table, right? And that's, you see the spin on it, but it's hard for you to kind of actually square it up, right?
Absolutely.
The Eagan football program.
We do have great fans here today. Good turnout, even with the with the wind and the cold. But to our left, to our right.
Well, it's nice to see up at the high school. There was there's track practice, there's lacrosse game or practice. I'm not sure.
Softball
You've got the
game
sophomore,
I thought was going on. Yeah.
You got a softball game. You got the sophomore baseball team playing. So a lot of activity up here this afternoon.
Absolutely. Oh, and everybody just wants to get outside with the hopes that 60s or 70s is coming sooner than later, but we don't know when, right? I keep saying that I'll take a trade off if we get like fall weather till end of November, but I don't think we're gonna be that lucky either, right?
No.
Alrighty, so we got a catcher coming up, Griffin Fensky, number 29.
Because he walked his last time up, and then that's what started the fun. Parker went out to run, and then the whole infield fly, no infield flies, so that.
I don't think Coach Butler will say that was fun, but first offering is going to be a moonshot to Recchio at short, and 1 pitch, 1 out. And that's common, as you know. I mean, you've watched Griffin play. He's an aggressive hitter, right?
Absolutely.
If it's in the zone, he's going to go after it. So, and you know what? With the way that Schmelzy's been pitching too, I mean, that might be your best fastball you see is that first pitch. So, you can't really blame him.
And it was a good swing.
No, absolutely. Yeah. So Danich, the shortstop, as we said, made a nice heroic diving play to his left 2 innings ago.
Ryan also walked last time, his last plate appearance.
Off speed low.
I don't know.
1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Still have a 0-0 ball game. Pitcher's duel, as you can see.
I don't know if Ryan's seen a strike yet.
Right, and there
you
go.
This might be the first one.
He wants you to take that back and not say
exactly.
that. You don't need to utter that. He'll be fine with seeing 4 more balls. All right, 1-1's our count. Schmelzy to Danich, ground ball to Recchio. Big hop.
Oh, big hop. Nice
Recchio
play by the short.
gets rid of it, and a nice dig over there at first by Manning. Like I said, we did a game last year, Eagan TV did at Lakeville North. It was a really fun game. It was a tight game similar to this, and then Eagan kind of blew open the doors a little bit, and we can watch this replay.
Nice play all around, because this kind of was down, then pops up. He stayed up nice and put a nice throw, kind of gave a nice dig, but a nice manageable 1 hop to the first baseman.
Yep, got rid of it
Didn't
quick.
necessarily short hop him.
Yeah.
But no, nice play all the way around.
It caught the lip, and that's what gave it that big hop, which essentially probably gave him a little more time to kind of get it and get rid of it. But what I was mentioning is last year was I was really impressed with Recchio. I think he had like a triple and a single in that game. Played a really solid shortstop. Got a ball hit to the left side or to the right side, and Haugen's able to make a sliding play and relay it over to Manning. So we watched kind of back-to-back nice plays there. Dig by Manning, and that time a nice play by Haugen, moving his left.
Eagan put 2 nice outs a couple innings ago, and now Lakeville North coming does the same thing.
Yeah,
2 great plays.
Off the bat, it looked like it was just going to be just a clear base hit to right, but I think maybe took a hop on the dirt, or excuse me, on the grass that slowed it down, and that allowed Haugen to get over there and corral it. So, after 5th inning being complete, no runs, no hits, and no errors for Eagan. Still 0-0 ball game.
Thank the crew at Eagan TV for covering today's
also going to give another update here. Did you know it takes volunteers to broadcast Wildcat sports on ETV? So join the ETV team to help your team. If I can do it, so can you. With a little training that ETV provides, simply go to eagan-tv.com and sign up to volunteer today. I heard Pete Amon talking about us up there, huh?
You never know what Pete's doing.
I did, I like it that he dropped that New Ulm native in there,
I didn't realize that. You're a New Ulm guy.
Yeah, I am,
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was born in Sleepy Eye, and then we moved to New Ulm when I was around 10 or so. So I had both my parents come from Sleepy Eye St. Mary's, and then we ended up at the rival school at New Ulm Cathedral. So
that's good baseball. New Ulm, Mankato, they always have had good baseball teams.
Naman's from Mankato, so that's why he likes to chime in about New Ulm.
He brings that up all the time.
Yeah, he does.
He's very proud of his Mankato.
Yeah. I think it's, what is it? Probably go St. John's, then maybe Mankato, then Eagan, or somewhere in between, right? Okay, so here we go. I mean, this game is cruising along. Maybe we'll see extras. We don't know. But top of the 6th, we're going to have that'll be our third baseman, number 4. And that's going to be Ethan Derugo.
who was hit by a pitch last time up. You recall, had a little breaking ball that didn't break the last time. Probably one of the few
errors, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. First pitch fastball fouled away, and what I was going to say too is it was essentially a payoff pitch. It was like a 1-2 count. He was trying to kind of get him on a curveball that would kind of maybe cross the inside corner, and like you said, it just didn't curve. I know I heard a couple people saying that he didn't really get out of the way, but he tried to kind of not necessarily throw his shoulder, but he tried to kind of get his back out of the way. So
it's probably one of the few pitches, if not the only one, that Liam probably hasn't been in 100% control and command of.
I was going to say, fastball missed. No, I was going to say, maybe the first batter or two of the game, he might have had a few pitches, but I mean, he was just trying to get his feel going, and ever since then, he's been in command of the strike zone. I think we're going to be looking at a fastball low outside again. Nope, curveball, strike three.
Curveball.
So we're up to 6 Ks now, I believe.
6 strikeouts on the day for Liam
cruising.
Martin.
He is just cruising. Here's that curveball again.
Number 2, Ryan Grodin.
And that one he kind of froze him because that one was a hittable curveball. And that he's had some really sharp curveballs, and that was obviously the off speed that froze Derugo there. So number 9 hitter is gonna be number 2, the center fielder, and that's Ryan Grodin. And as we mentioned, Grodin batting .375 on the season, 2 for 2 on stolen bases, and does have 9 RBIs coming into today. So kind of the spark plug potentially for that Lakeville North team to try to flip the lineup over to Recchio, the leadoff hitter.
Casey, you've mentioned most of the broadcast today, the amount of Lakeville North players with many stolen bases or great percentages, which just further speaks to Liam keeping people off the base today.
Yep. Nope. Yeah, I mean when they're at 80%, right? I mean that's part of their game. I mean they're trying to take some extra bases and get guys in scoring position, right? So absolutely. I mean with Liam just commanding the strike zone and not walking people, and I think he's only gotten into like 3 ball counts today,
absolutely.
Right? Hasn't walked a guy, I don't believe.
Has nope.
Yeah,
has not
so
walked anybody.
we had the air at short, and then the hit by pitch.
Hit by pitch.
Yep. And after that air, he picked off the guy anyways.
Picked him off, yeah. So in the baseball world, they call that a good day so far.
Absolutely. And I think, the other thing too is, with not running, with not being out of the zone and running into 3 ball counts, he's keeping his pitch count down to keep him into the game potentially for the whole 7 innings. Fouled back on a fastball. 2-2's our count. 1 out here. Top of 6, Lakeville North Panthers, who came in today 3-2 in the conference and 3-2 overall, while Eagan is 2-3 overall and 1-3 in the conference. So I mean, a big, as you know, all these games are big.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, the kind of the jockeying of the standings here early on in the season, right?
And this conference has got so many good teams.
Yeah. No, that's what I've told a lot of people, whether it's from New Ulm or other buddies of mine that maybe coach out of state and so forth, is the amount of talent that I've seen in these 4 years that I've been around this program. I mean, you just all of a sudden one day you show up and there's 20 scouts in the stands, right? Yeah. Because a D1 kid is on the mound for whatever team.
Somebody, yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, you're seeing some stud pitchers every single day, as well as, great lineups. And there's the first walk of the day on a just missed inside corner fastball. So we'll see what they do here with Grodin as well as with Recchio at the plate. Recchio can handle the stick well, so you might see a hit and run. You might see a little fake bunt steal. I mean, they might try to test Fensky, and then you also kind of play the other side of the card, right, and see what Eagan does with Coach Butler. If it's going to be a pitch out, they're going to be trying to work the outside corner.
With as in command as Liam has been today, you almost feel like they would try to do something, right?
Take a chance.
As you said, hit and run, or even a stretch steal or a delayed steal or a bunt, just to get anybody moving.
Yeah. Because
they have not been able to muster a whole lot against Liam so far today.
Recchio with 3 RBIs on the season, 3 for 18 coming into today. Leadoff spot, fouls his fastball right back.
And he's gone the other way twice. He's had 2 flyouts to Elias New in left field.
Yep. Yeah, more of kind of the can of corn style his last out, but that first one he got a pretty decent wood on it, right?
And Elias made a great play.
Didn't get it up in the wind. There goes Grodin. The ball's gonna get past Fensky. Grodin's gonna stay at second. So as we mentioned, now Lakeville 9 for 11 on the season, and Grodin now sitting on 3 for 3. So, yeah, we're going to see the replay. Gets a good jump.
Yeah, as we talked, not surprising they wanted to get something going on, something in motion.
All righty, 1-1's our count, 1 out here.
And that would have been a tough pitch, I think.
I think so, too.
To throw him out anyway.
Yeah. 1-2's our count to the leadoff hitter, Recchio. We have Grodin, the center fielder, is on second. He reached on the first walk of today's game. So Liam's got a little bit of the ones. He's got a 1 hit by pitch. There's 1 error on the board and 1 walk. And now 1 stolen base. Outside corner, a little bit out. Say a couple inches outside that black. 2-2, here's our count with Recchio, the shortstop.
Think of the old Major League, tried the corner and missed. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Well, you just never know when somebody's going to get it, or miss it, or maybe your catcher steals one with a nice frame, right? Nice job of Fensky keeping that in front on the curveball. Just missing.
It works the count full, so he's gone a little deeper than he has in the past few innings.
Yep. Well, and even like you said, even though that Recchio's batting average might not show it at least early on in the season, he's a tough at bat. He's a leadoff hitter and one of their best hitters. So you don't want to just throw it straight down the middle, right? Fly ball gonna be all hit out to left field to Elias New, camps underneath it. So as we said, right, Recchio 3 flyouts to left, a line out and 2 flyouts, right?
Number 21.
And I think that's partially probably the plan, right? I mean, as you can see, that was an outside pitch. But it did seem like that first at bat that he was trying to kind of have an inside out swing as a lefty, right? And he was trying to kind of find that that line or that gap. Okay, so now we have the first baseman coming up, number 21. That's gonna be Braden Manning.
Braden, who's reached on an air and then a ground ball to third baseman, and then was picked up. Another pickoff. Speaking of it.
Yep. Going after Grodin at second. 2 down here. No score between Panthers of Lakeville North and the Wildcats of Eagan.
He does have a 2-out lead, so you definitely have a little more of a lead. He's definitely going to be scoring on a base hit. Probably has a little more depth to the nice play by Griff.
Nice play, going to try to take off, and he does able to get over to third. But the play was still going to be the first, so now you just got to kind of
hopefully
manage
doesn't hurt
damage
much.
In a sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Because he was probably going to score on a base hit, or at least would have tried to score on a base hit, so that doesn't change. And your point, hopefully they can keep him there.
Yeah, I think Grodin's probably one of their top speedsters on the team, right? So, and just a really good secondary too, as you can see. I mean, that's the importance of getting off the base on the pitch, right?
Absolutely.
Having your momentum taking you to that next base, and that's why when he saw that ball hit the dirt, he was already off and running to third. So 1-0's our count. Fastball's up and high. Put a little extra heat on that one.
It's those little things that sometimes the kids maybe always don't appreciate at practice, the importance of the power of the details, right? A good secondary lead.
Yep.
What are you doing, and how do you get a free 90 feet here if you can, a free base here and there?
Manning looking for his 3rd RBI on the season. 2-0 count.
Griff did a nice job keeping that ball kind of in front of him off to the side, and if the runner's not aggressive.
Ooh, and we got one belted to left center. Looks like we got a little bit of communication, and nice job of Lachenmeier calling off New. So that one got underneath it. It looked like it was hit maybe a little bit further. I didn't think it was gone by any means, but it looked like it was going to hit to that power alley, but he did get underneath it.
I'm with you. When he first hit it, I thought that was going to be a gapper.
Yeah.
But good communication there by Elias and Alex, because those can be trouble. I mean, actually, that's what happened the other day with George and Alex, right? A ball very similar.
Yep. No, absolutely. So Lakeville North strands 1 in the top of the 6th inning. It looks like for some reason Pete got a little excited up there and put a run on the board, but that's all right. And no runs, no hits, no errors. There was the 1 walk, the first walk of the game, and Grodin was stranded on third.
We have Elias and David Rockford, and then top of the order, at least are scheduled to hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless Coach Butler does any pinch hitting or gets other guys, but it looks like Elias is going to be leading off.
Yep. Yeah, and so far we've only seen, what was it? I think just the 1 bunt attempt by Amon. So, I know that, Eagan likes to, try to get their speed on base paths. So, in a game like today, anything is obviously possible. But at the same time, trying to maybe drag one at some point. Maybe you might see it here for one of these, two youngsters and the speedsters on the team. try to get that rally kind of started.
Fielder Elias.
Got Coach Steve Butler's man's third base, and then you got assistant coach Zach Walls over at first base, and then as we mentioned before, the pitching coach this season is Tony Vaca, and then you got the steady Eddie of the crew, Steve Cullers, right? Always enjoy seeing Steve at the park, man. That guy has got a wealth of baseball knowledge. And
He's
just the nicest guy. Yeah,
he's got stories.
I know the kids love having him around.
Absolutely.
So. First pitch of the ball, ground ball hit hard to third, which is Derugo, and his relay to Manning is in time. Hit it hard. The problem was you get that Sunday hop on a Wednesday.
But
so.
good swing, good contact, hit the ball hard, out of the box well.
Yeah.
But
Derugo's got a
nice
strong
play.
arm, too.
Made a nice play.
Watching back that replay, that thing was cooking over to first. So,
but good at bat by Elias.
Absolutely.
Very good at bat.
Absolutely. David Rockford comes in, the right fielder, number 4.
David went down swinging last at bat, and see if he can't get something going here with
curveball on the outside
out.
corner is in there for a strike. So Schmelzy doing a nice job of commanding the zone here as well, as much as we've been talking about Liam.
Yeah.
Change up their misses, but and he hasn't left a lot of pitches over the middle, right? I mean, both pitchers haven't, and Liam can overpower more because he's got more heat on his fastball, and fastball misses low. So nice at bat here early on by Rockford. But Schmelzley's done an excellent job of kind of gathering himself, after maybe that first and second inning, that second inning when he walked two batters. Ripped on to right, but looks like Joyner is going to be underneath it. Makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So that's a tough thing, right? As we mentioned earlier, is even if you hit it solid, Wynn's going to be holding it up, especially to the lefties out and right, and that's what we've noticed too. I mean, Joyner is able to play probably 30 feet in than he would normally play on a normal day, right?
And I've been impressed with both pitchers on really just disrupting the timing of the hitters, right? Getting them a little out in front, a little on their front foot, and
fastball misses. We got our leadoff hitter, the center fielder, number 8, Alex Lachenmeier.
Alex, the lone hit for Eagan today.
Absolutely.
To start the game, and
gave the hometown faithful. I thought that it was just going to be a big inning right away to start it off, right? Second pitch of the game, base hit up the middle on a curveball that was hanging. 2-0's our count, 2 down. Obviously, always a threat to run, so get Lachenmeier on. You might have a good chance of getting him over to second within a pitch or two, and maybe Amon can bring him in.
Absolutely. And we've been talking about this conference and these pitchers, and some of the best in the conference and the state, but just some really quality pitching today.
Yeah, well, and I think too what you noticed, and what I've noticed too, is you maybe don't always catch the ace for every, but people. Most of the teams in the conference have a really solid second or third in their rotation. Two-hopper, to Haugen. Haugen's relay over to Manning is in time. As it looks like Lachenmeier went with that curveball, but just didn't get it able to get it too squarely. So 3 up and 3 down. Went with the pitch. Almost actually got tipped off of Schmelz's glove, but Haugen only had to take 1 step to his right. It's just a routine grounder. So 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, and we are still scoreless through 6 innings complete. And I feel like we've been here for about 45 minutes.
Yeah, similar to his first at-bat, though, he actually waited nice on the off-speed, and, another good swing, just nothing to show for it.
Yep.
And again, that disruption of timing just a little bit.
Yeah.
Really as you're pitching, that's really all you want to do is how do you just get them off their front foot, back on it, just how do you disrupt their timing enough to where that ball that would have been a gapper is a routine fly ball. And I think both pitchers done a nice job on that today. But you're right, after 6 complete innings, we are flying through it today. So it looks like we may have maybe a bottom of the 7th heroics again here.
Yeah, you could, right, absolutely. Could get a little home team walk-off action. We're going to be seeing, let's see here. We're going to see the meat of the lineup here for Lakeville. So it's going to be 3, 4, 5, and that's going to be Wareham, Haugen, and Joyner. So let's see. Obviously you want to get that first out, get Wareham out right away.
Yep.
And that's going to be Will Wareham, and he is catching today. Do a nice job behind the plate. I mean, like we said before, Eagan's been able to get 2 stolen bases, yes.
Number 8,
but, especially that first one with Lachenmeier, I think that would have been a bang-bang play if Haugen was able to get his glove on it, right?
Absolutely.
I was impressed with just how quick Wareham was able to kind of get, get it and get rid of it, right? I mean, it's all about, and that's why that's why I always see the guys in the dugout with the clocks, right, the stopwatches and so forth. As we see him take one to right field, being tracked by Rockford, does a nice job. Under control, and 1 pitch, 1 out. So
actually,
Wareham goes with the pitch, does a nice job, got good wood on it.
Josh Haugen.
But they also had him shaded kind of properly. He didn't, he wasn't really playing the right center gap as much.
Very nice play by David.
Yep.
Kind of running towards the line.
Absolutely. So that's going to bring up the number 4 hitter, the second baseman, number 14. First pitch swung on and missed. And that's Josh Haugen. And
Ground ball to Ryan Danich last time up.
Haugen's batting .286 on the season. Started 4 of the 5 games. 4 for 14. Fastball on the outside corner and a strike. So Liam's back into his groove. He does have 5 runs on the season. But his 6 strikeouts too. So I mean, an aggressive hitter as well on the Lakeville side.
You say back into his groove. He really hasn't got it. It has been surgical precision today.
Like we said before, so many of his strikeouts have been just strike 1, strike 2, strike 3.
Yeah, and that's his 7th strikeout of the game.
Absolutely.
Another,
just a sharp fastball on the outside corner where Griffin doesn't even have to move his glove. So 2 down. And bring up number 5, the 5th hitter, in the lineup, number 12. And fastball again on the outside corner for a strike. It's going to be the right fielder, and that's going to be Teddy Joyner.
I mean, 7 of the 20 outs have been strikeouts. That's a productive day on the mound.
Absolutely. And you know what? We might be missing one or two. There's the first hit of the game. We didn't want to say anything. I could tell Adam and I both, we had the ESP thing going that we weren't going to mention a hit yet. But the first hit of the game by Teddy Joyner, he does a nice job of turning on that pitch and just taking it past the outstretched Will Huseman. And yeah, Will was maybe about a half a step away from it. I mean, it was hit hard. It would have been a tough play. I think Joyner runs pretty well. I mean, Will would have had to have a bullet of an arm or quick pop up and throw. So 2 down. Joyner at first hit of the game. Both teams now have 1 hit apiece. Ball pops out of the glove on a fastball in the inside corner. We have number 16 now batting, and that's going to be the right fielder, and that's going to be Ryan Joyner.
Well, Casey, neither one of us wanted to do the cardinal rule of jinxing it, and we got close. We got close.
I was on board with you too. I was mentioning ones, but I wasn't going to say anything in regards to a hit, because you know what? You just never know when you're going to be a part of part of history per se, right? And I think, as you know, too, Liam's got the stuff that he can run a no-hitter into the 5th, 6th, or 7th quite frequently. And like we said, there's other pitchers as well in this conference. I mean, Schmelsley gave up a hit in the first batter of the game and then hasn't surrendered a hit, right? So, both pitchers put in a clinic.
You look at the board, I mean, no runs on 1 hit for both teams.
Right.
And that's just some great pitching.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's been clean fielding on both sides. Yeah. Just the 1 error, early on in the game, right? On Eagan's side, the ball's in the dirt, gets past Fensky. We're going to see if we get a big turn from Joyner, and he does, but he's going to stay at second. So 2-2s are count, 2 down. You do have Joyner at second. So once again, this is the second time today that Lakeville has had a runner at second, and actually the previous time they did get they got Haugen over to third. So pinch runner will be Chase Flasky. So Flasky's going to come in, and I doubt we're going to see a hold up on third if there is a base hit or any type of play. I think you kind of like what Coach Butler did early on, right? You take your chance, make a perfect throw, which they did on that relay from center on that on that kind of that missed stolen base where Haugen was able to get his glove on it. So 2 down.
I think if this ball's put in play, he's going to be rounding third to go, regardless of where it's at. It doesn't matter. They're gonna have to try to score.
Absolutely. Payoff pitch, fouled back.
Good at bat though. Good foul ball there.
Yep. As we said, I mean, Joyner is the highest average on the season. So, only 12 at bats, but still 5 for 12 on the season, 2 RBIs. Fastball inside. So 3-2 count. And as we mentioned before, I think this is only the 3rd or 4th, 3-ball count for Liam. with only 1 walk on the day. So he's came back obviously over and over again with a strike here when he has reached a full count. Fastball up high and in. And that was ball 4 to Joyner's surprise. So now we got runners on first and second. You got Joyner at first. You got the pinch runner Chase Flashke at second base. I'm gonna get a little timeout here. I'm gonna replay. High pitch in and for a ball. Coach Vaca is gonna go out and talk with Liam here quickly. 2 down, 0-0's our score. Top of 7th. Lakeville with their deepest threat per se. Runners on first and second. And they're going to be having the pitcher, who's also DHing today, DHing for himself in the sense number 5. And that's going to be Cal Schmelzle. As we mentioned before, Schmelzle on the day. Strikeout looking, and then the ground ball back to Liam Martin. So 2 down, we're back ready to go here. Only the second walk of the day for Martin. As we mentioned before, Martin last year declared and signed with Cal Santa Barbara, a member of the Big West Conference, which is composed of all California Division I teams, and then Hawaii gets to sneak in too. So, no pitcher-on-pitcher duel as Martin looks into Fensky. Swung on and missed on a fastball on the outside corner by Martin. Martin trying to get the boys back in the dugout for some 7th inning heroics, but still needs to put away Schmelzle here. Schmelzle as well has done an excellent job on the mound today. Been very sharp. Ball's hit out to left. Elias News got a beat on it. It's going to be over his head. So you're going to get Flashke's going to come in and score. The relay to Danich is not going to be held up in time as we watch Joyner score all the way from first on that double by the pitcher Schmelzle. Schmelzle goes with the pitch, a little in-out pitch, got some good wood on it, probably got some wind aid on it, and got past New out in left field. And then the relay into Danich took a kind of a double hop on him and wasn't able to kind of get that throw to try to get Joyner out at home. So with that being said, a big 2-out hit by the pitcher Schmelzle. It's 2-0 now, Lakeville North. And now we're going to see another pinch runner for the pitcher. Looks to be number 6, Sawyer Perry. So Sawyer Perry's going to run for Schmelzle, picks up 2 big RBIs to help his own cause on the mound. Just kind of an inside-out swing, and I think he got some, wind aided once he got up there, right? I mean, Elias had a good beat on it, and I think, I don't think he thought it was going to carry as much as it did, right? And then kind of that relay took a second hop, and unfortunately Danich was unable to kind of get to it to try to relay it home to get Joyner. We see a quick ground ball, 2 pitches there to Derugo, on the first pitch to Derugo. Routine ground ball from Danich over to Harms. So with that being said, though, Lakeville North, they do score 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors, and they leave 1 on the bases.
Well, we're going to need some bottom of the 7th heroics again.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, well, just like I said, that just kind of a tough play. It's hard to say. I mean, without wind, did the ball get held up? Did it get carried? It's hard to kind of truly, say where that ball was. It looked at first, first glance, I thought that, that he wouldn't necessarily be camping underneath it, but he'd be able to run underneath it. And then I think it just kept rising on him and got past Elias out and left. But I mean, a good swing. I mean, he put a good swing on a kind of an inside-outside swing too. Kind of went with the pitch, got underneath it, and then got some carry with it too. So we'll see what Schmelzle will do here, as well as he had the big 2 RBIs.
Yeah. So 2, 3, 4. So the
absolutely.
Leading off for the Wildcats, second baseman number 5.
So we got Mason Amon, senior. Looks to plan on playing baseball in college as well. Just hasn't fully decided yet where he'll go. I know where his dad would probably line him up to go, right? We got that figured out.
And Mason's brother plays up at St. John's.
Yep, absolutely. Joe, yep. So fastball on the outside corner.
Jackson.
In there for a strike. Excuse me, Jackson. Yep. Ground ball going to be hit over to second to Haugen. Haugen relay over to Manning, easily in time. It's going to bring up number 3 hitter, the senior pitcher, Liam Martin.
Pitcher number
Yeah,
16,
Schmelze almost got a glove on
Martin.
that, but
Yeah.
I mean, Haugen's had a lot of action. You know, a lot of balls, whether it be righties or lefties. He had the nice diver early on that looked like it was going to be, you know, kind of a for sure single. Really hasn't been much action to, I think Derugo's had 1 ground ball over at third, and Recchio might have had just that 1 pop-up. So Haugen's had a lot of the actual plays in the field here early on. So 1-1's our count. Senior Liam Martin up at the plate, trying to kind of start a party here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, 5 ground balls.
Yeah.
Second baseman
Yep.
they had. You know, I'm sure Liam's a little disappointed, but awfully impressive outing.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, awfully impressive.
2-hitter in this conditions, and was just sharp from the start. I mean, I
Takes
think
a
it was
no-hitter, 6 2/3.
Wow,
I
just
mean,
did.
that's just
2 walks. You only hit 1 batter. Big pitch by Schmelze, and Liam coaxes a walk. So now we got a runner on first base. Going to bring up number 4 hitter, the first baseman, the senior, Charlie Harms, or Chuck Harms.
well, they at least have something to work with here,
Yep,
right? They have something
absolutely.
to work with.
Well, and make Schmelze, make some pitches, right? I mean, that was that was the longest, inning that they were in the dugout of the day. Obviously, Schmelze had the big hit too, so then you got to kind of control the heart rate, right, and bring that back down because he's still got 3 outs to get.
So Charlie gets ahead in the count here.
Yep.
Always better to work from ahead.
Off speed was missed. Another off speed, this time on the outside corner for a strike. Yeah, and you can see obviously their game plan is, with Charlie and with Liam is for the most part is pounding either fastballs or even off speed, all out.
Yep.
You really haven't seen him, try to even come inside to, either of those 2 guys all day.
That's
Ball ripped, but foul.
Just foul.
1-2's our count, 1 down. Lakeville North leading 2-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. Liam Martin had a 5-pitch walk, staying on first base, Lost the grip there. 2-2's our count on that off speed. And then on deck will be the catcher, Griffin Fensky, who's hoping to have some runners in scoring position. Another throw over to Manning, not in time.
Talk about a late game heroics, a 3-run over the monster homer to end it, huh?
We've been waiting for a Wildcat Jack, I think. I think somebody gets a free bag of popcorn if that happens. Yeah. Going with the pitch. Nice piece of hitting and controlling the strike zone there by Chuck.
Good at bat. Fouled off some tough pitches so far.
As we said before, Schmelze's only given up 1 hit, and that was on the first batter of the game to Lachenmeier. Ball going to be bounced over, slow roller to first. I don't know if they're going to have anybody to get over time, but they do as Manning takes it himself. A little confusion between him and Schmelze as well as Haugen. Martin moves over to second as we watch this ground ball. I thought for a split second that, Charlie might be able to beat this out because, I didn't know if he was going to try to flip it or if he was going to try to beat him to the base, but he was able to do so in Manning.
Little conference on the mound here. Make sure they have all their signs squared away and know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Don't want to have any mistakes now with 2 outs in the 7th.
Well, you got number 5 hitter up in Fensky, and they know he's can be an aggressive hitter. So I'm sure a lot of it too is whether it's the relay, right, or whether it's the second sign or whatever it might be. So that way Liam's not able to kind of pick up the sign and relay it back into Griffin. Some hitters, like that, some don't, right? I get, all my years you get some guys that say, hey, if you can see the signs, don't tell me because that's just gonna, it's gonna confuse me even more.
Well, if there's somebody who can hit one out of here, it's definitely Griffin.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
And I'm sure that just a reminder, just to make sure we make our pitches, as you say, make sure we have the right calls. No cross singles here.
Fastball up high on the outside corner for a strike to Fensky. 2-0 is our score with Lakeville North leading. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th here at Wildcat Park. Curveball out for a ball. 1-1's our count.
And I would think they would pitch Griffin pretty carefully here, right?
I
and
think
not,
so too.
Maybe working away, not give him anything he can try to turn around and pull on.
There's the fastball. Catches the knees. 1-2's our count, 2 down. To the catcher, Griffin Fensky, the junior. The senior shortstop, Ryan Danich, looming in the on-deck circle. As we mentioned, Smelzy's heck of a game here. Not as many strikeouts per se as Liam has had today, but only the 1 hit and I believe 2 walks on the day, right? For Smelzy as well.
Only 2 strikeouts.
Yep.
2 strikeouts, 3 walks.
Ball hit over to Recchio. 2-hopper. Recchio relay
Hey,
pulls
safe,
Manning off
he-
the base, but it looks like
Oh,
he
nice
might have
play.
just got the toe back on in time.
Nice play by the first baseman there.
That's your
Yeah,
ball
it
game. Lakeville
Must have
North
just
2,
kind of got that
Eagan
backside
0.
corner of the
Thank
base.
you to
2-hopper to
Lakeville
Recchio.
North parents
Recchio
and
with a
fans
strong
for
throw
making
that
the trip
pulls him
north.
off.
We'll see you at your place.
What a great play.
Oh, he did. Looks like he kept it on there almost.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he did slide it back on at the end. Yeah, there you go.
What a great play, though.
Yeah, great athleticism by Manning.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, not a big recap of today's game.
No.
Because we only had 2 hits by Lakeville North and 1 hit by Eagan. A couple walks on both sides and an excellent pitching duel that we saw. It just was the big hit of 2 outs by the pitcher himself, Smelzy, that, ended up being the game-winning hit as well as the game-winning runs.
Great pitching. I mean, there's just nothing else you can say. I mean, there was great pitching by both players today.
Yeah. No,
And
absolutely.
I'm sure Liam's disappointed. But he shouldn't hang his head. I mean,
No.
he had an
Ran a no-hitter.
unbelievable no-hitter through 6 2/3. I mean,
exactly. Absolutely. So, we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in today. Unfortunately, Eagan takes a tough loss, but right there on path with where they want to get to. I want to also thank Adam Huseman here for joining us. I had a great time with you. So, for Casey Lux and the rest of Eagan TV, I want to thank Eagan TV again. To have you guys a wonderful and safe Wednesday night here. Thank you.